Alright, today we're going to talk about present tense of AR verbs. Okay, so starting off it says in order to talk about activities you need to use verbs. Verbs express actions or states of being. In English and Spanish, the infinitive is the base form of the verb. In English, the infinitive is to plus the verb. Okay, example would be to study. The infinitive in Spanish is a one-word form and can be recognized by its ending. So in Spanish, we have AR, ER, IR. In English, you have to plus the verb. That's how you know that it's an infinitive. So example here, you have estudiar, ends in AR. Comer ends in ER. And escribir ends in IR. So that's how you know that it's an infinitive. Okay. To change an infinitive into a verb, you're first going to drop the infinitive ending, AR, ER, IR. Then you're going to add the new ending. Okay, study the example below. So again, here's your infinitive. The first thing that we do is we're going to drop that AR, and then we're going to add the new ending. And you'll see the endings on the next slide. Then you have bailar, so we're going to drop that. And then we're going to add the new ending, which is AS for tú. Then you have trabajar, so we drop the ending. And then you have nosotros trabajamos, AMOS, that's the ending for nosotros. Okay, so here we go. In the lesson, you will learn the forms of regular AR verbs. So this is the ending for yo, O. The ending for tú is AS. The ending for usted, él, and ella is A. Nosotros is AMOS. We skip vosotros. We do not do that, okay? So I didn't put a spot in your notes for that. So we skip that one. And then you have ustedes, ellos, and ellas ends in AN. Okay, so those are your endings for all AR verbs in the present tense. These are just some examples. Juan Carlos estudia ciencias ambientales. So Juan Carlos is one person. Okay, that's just his name. So estudiar is going to end in an A. Okay, ¿y tú qué estudias, Miguel? So it's asking, and you, what do you study, Miguel? So since it's you, it's going to end in AS. Okay. So these are common AR verbs. I will go through them for pronunciation quickly. So the first one is bailar, buscar, caminar, cantar, cenar, comprar, contestar, conversar, desayunar, descansar, desear, dibujar, enseñar, escuchar, esperar. Then you have estudiar, explicar, hablar, llegar, I'm here, llevar, mirar, necesitar, practicar, preguntar, preparar, regresar, terminar, tomar, trabajar, and viajar. Okay, those are all the AR verbs we're going to be working with. So moving on, it says, unless referring to a person, the Spanish verbs buscar, escuchar, esperar, and mirar do not need to be followed by prepositions as do their English equivalents. So if we look here, it says busco la tarea. So I'm looking for the homework. So in this case, we have our preposition. If I'm talking about a person, then so again, like it says, unless referring to a person, you don't need it. Okay, so none of these have people in it. Okay, so we don't need a preposition. Okay, so if you look here, it doesn't have a preposition behind it, but in English it does. Okay, these are all forms of the present tense. In English, there's three forms: the simple present, the present progressive, and the emphatic present. Okay, in Spanish, we have one sentence that can be used for all these cases. Okay, so if I say Paco trabaja en la cafetería, the actual literal translation would be number one, Paco works in the cafeteria. Okay, but it is understood we can use it for these other two sentences. Okay, again, in Spanish and English, the present tense is also sometimes used to express future action. So Marina viaja a Madrid mañana. Because we have this word here, mañana, we're talking about future tense. Okay, so Marina travels to Madrid tomorrow. That's the literal translation. Okay. So when two verbs are used together with no change of subject, the second verb is generally an infinitive. To make a sentence negative in Spanish, the word no is placed before the conjugated verb. In this case, no means not. So again, this is my verb and this is my infinitive. We never change the second one. We always just change the first one. Okay, we can't have two conjugated verbs next to each other. And conjugation simply means to change the ending. Okay, this one we changed the ending, this one we did not. Okay, and if I want to say not, then you're going to say Alicia no desea bailar ahora. So Alicia does not want to dance now. Okay, so we always place no in front of the verb to make a sentence negative. So Spanish pronouns can be omitted because the verb endings indicate who the subject is. In Spanish, subject pronouns are used for emphasis, clarification, or contrast. So the example that I gave you guys is nosotros dibujamos en la clase de arte. Okay, so I can write this with the pronoun nosotros or I can write it without. Okay, but both of these sentences mean we draw in art class. Okay, because of the ending AMOS, I know that I'm talking about, or whoever is speaking is talking about we. Okay, if I say yo dibujo, I know because of the O that I'm talking about I. Okay, so you can write a sentence with or without the pronoun. And finally, we're just going to do some examples. So if I have, these are my infinitives. Okay, the first step to changing an infinitive is to drop the ending. So I'm going to drop the ending, and since my pronoun is yo, my ending is going to be o. So yo hablo español. I speak Spanish. For number 2, I'm going to drop the ending. Okay, drop the ending. And then I'm going to add the new ending, which is my second step. So the ending for tú is as. So tú cantas muy bien. You sing very well. Number 3, ella. So I'm going to drop the ending. And then the ending for ella is just an A. So ella baila salsa. She dances salsa. Then we have escuchar, which means to listen to. So we drop the ending. And then since nosotros is my subject, then I know that it's going to be AMOS. Okay, so nosotros escuchamos música. So we listen to music. And finally, caminar means to walk. So we drop the ending, and then we add the new ending for ellos, which is AN. Okay, so ellos caminan en el parque. So they walk in the park. Alright, so that's a quick example of how you do it. Remember, step 1, drop the ending. Step 2, add the new ending. Okay, and we always have to look at the subject to determine what the ending is going to be. So if you guys have any questions, please feel free to send me an email, send me a remind, ask me a question in class, and I'll be more than happy to help you guys with verbs. Alright, make sure you guys complete the practice to make sure that you understand. Use the chart that's given in your notes to complete the practice.